Just talking about the way you're feeling. Are you having doubts? Dancing longer as the nights grow cold. For love to last, it takes heart and soul. Now trouble with emotions, knowing what to say. Seconds turn to hours, hours turn to days. Tears upon a pillow, and my heart is filled with pain. For love is starting over, it'll never be the same. Now I'm all alone with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Yeah, you need to know how you tore my world apart. Didn't give enough heart and soul. Staring out your window as the rain turns to snow, like a rose in the water, hasn't left grow. Like a season of a stranger, who couldn't stand the test of time. Like a ram without a reason, need to change your mind. Now I'm on the with a broken heart. Give you everything right from the start. Heart and soul. Don't even know how you tore my world apart. Didn't even know heart and soul.
Got to turn the mic on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to H&S. It's Tuesday night, and if you're in a New York state of decline, welcome aboard. We're going to go through some of the stuff with New York State, what the election map looks like in New York State for you election nerds out there. So we'll go get through that, and then we'll see what else is on deck. The usual stuff, more riot crap. We might as well get right into it. Oh, and I'm on your side. The famous words of Boogie Bumper. I'm on your side. Uh, New York State. So Governor Andrew Cuomo came out today, and hold on 1 second. Governor Andrew Cuomo came out today and basically blamed Donald Trump for all of New York's financial woes. The little bitch that he is. It's all Donald Trump's fault. New York did everything right. Wait a minute. If you look at state by state, New York had more deaths than anybody. Based on your nursing home policy, which we went over multiple times, the DOJ has asked for that nursing home COVID information and is being refused. So now Andy Cuomo is on doing a press conference today, and I caught a bunch of it on Revenge of the Sis. Cuomo is crying like a little, dare I say, bitch, about how Donald Trump is holding up all of his money. Donald Trump sent a ship. He sent ventilators. He set up the Javits Center, and New York used almost none of it. But now he's crying that the Congress can't get a bill passed because it's Trump's fault. He wants a bailout for his entire failure as governor. The failure of Bill de Blasio as mayor of New York City. New York City is still shut down restaurant-wise, and I don't know, I'd say 80% of the city is shut down. That's not Donald Trump's fault. That's your incompetence. Your electioneering to try to win an election by crushing everybody in your state. I mean, come on. He had nothing to say about the riot that happened in Manhattan that caused over $100,000 in damage. Don Cuomo had nothing to say about Rochester. Don Cuomo praised himself and patted himself on the back about his corona or Chinese virus response, and then blasted Donald Trump, who he told, we don't want you here. Remember? If you come here, you better bring an army. That moron, Don Cuomo, and his brother Fredo, Chris Cuomo. Apparently, he's a little frisky with the women over at CNN. So Don Cuomo is blaming Trump for all of New York State's problems. New York State was $6 billion in debt before the Chinese virus. But that's the orange racists' fault, I guess. I don't know. But here is Brooklyn. This is what Don Cuomo is focused on. Arresting people for you're not wearing a mask. So this is a ferry in Brooklyn, and the NYPD is there to arrest law-abiding citizens for not wearing a mask. Listen to the dipshits cheering that a man is being arrested for not wearing a mask. This is New York City, and this will bode for my point coming up, because we had a discussion on Speakeasy Saturday night about how New York's going to be flipped red. Not so fast, ladies and gentlemen. Not so fast. I call him Don Cuomo. Ben K. Veritas. You know, like, like in the mob movies, Don Cuomo and his brother Fredo. Yeah, people listen to the people cheering on the Brooklyn ferry about a man being arrested for not wearing a mask. But if you want to riot and destroy Manhattan, have at it. You're more than welcome. And Don Cuomo is begging for money from Trump. The guy who he told wasn't welcome in New York. Now it's Trump's fault that he can't get the money that Nancy Pelosi is holding up because she wants a complete bailout of New York. Well, New York State was $6 billion in debt before COVID, before the Chinese virus. They created their own problems by locking down and continuing to lock down restaurants, movie theaters, bars. That's not Trump doing that. That's you destroying your own economy for an election. I got some nice words for Don Cuomo, but they start with F and U and Don Cuomo. Yes, yes, arrest the man not wearing a mask. Arrest a man for not wearing a mask. Congratulations. Listen to them cheering. Yes, yes, government. Yes, yes, yes. Arrest the non-conformist, non-wearing, mask-wearing threat to all of us.
Thank you, NYPD.
Yay! Thank you, NYPD. Thank you for arresting an American citizen who did nothing fucking wrong.
Hey, David,
Yes! Yes! Thank you, NYPD. Thank you for arresting the man who wasn't wearing a mask, but please do ignore Black Lives Matter destroying Manhattan. We have no problem with that. These people are lunatics. And that will go to my point about the speakeasy on Saturday. Because you just heard it, folks. People are cheering and clapping and thanking the NYPD for arresting a man not wearing a mask on the ferry in Brooklyn. Okay? Now remember that. You got to remember that. And I may put up a poll if we gain a few more viewers here. I may put up a poll and ask you a question about what I'm going to talk about and show you regarding New York. So, continuing on with New York State. This is from Sean Hannity. Brooklyn mayhem. Lobby footage shows Wild West shootout in New York City apartment complex. New security footage released by the NYPD is highlighting the growing crime wave across. But no, if you go on Twitter, they're saying New York's fine. New York's fine. There's no problem in New York. We don't have a problem in New York. There's no crime wave. That's a conspiracy theorist. You're being a conspiracy theorist. That's Donald Trump, the orange bastard's talking points. New York is fine. Although crime statistics say the opposite, and we've gone over that. Shootings are up over 200% over the last 2 months. But, that's just a conspiracy theorist talking right there. New security footage released by the NYPD is highlighting the growing crime wave across the Big Apple, showing a Wild West-style shootout in the building lobby of a Brooklyn apartment complex. Remember, this is a Brooklyn apartment complex. What the hell did we just watch? We just watched people cheering that a man was arrested, unbelievably, for not wearing a mask. This is the same Brooklyn, okay,
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Thank you for the ice cream, Victor Von Schroom, was that? No, Henry St. Tucker Bumper Politics. Why? Thank you for the ice cream. There's your picture of a hot dog. So, NYPD Crime Stoppers, and let's blow up the video. This is in the same Brooklyn. Look at this guy. They're just shooting each other. Now, let me tell you for a fact, in New York State, good luck getting a legal handgun. Damn near impossible. It takes you about a year to get a handgun in New York. Do you think these young, fine gentlemen went through the same process that law-abiding citizens do to get a handgun license? 200% over last year's numbers over the same time period. If you can believe that. We're going over 100%. So if there were 20 shootings last year in a 2-month period, and now there are, say, 60, that'd be 200%. Spaghetti Western, yeah. Yeah, it's becoming like a spaghetti Western in New York State. Now remember, Cuomo had a press conference today where he lambasted Trump for all of New York's woes. New York City is becoming a cesspool, but it's all Donald Trump's fault. Remember who told Donald Trump to get the hell out? We don't need you here. I seem to recall a certain Don Cuomo telling Trump to get the hell out. We don't want you here. Now, there is a mass wave of people leaving New York State, especially the city. But that's all Trump's fault, too. Remember, I said New York City restaurants and bars are still closed. De Blasio has not decided when they can open. So from True Pundit, hundreds of New York City restaurants joined $2 billion lawsuit against Cuomo, Don Cuomo, and his lieutenant, de Blasio, over city's indoor dining ban. Now, if it's not bad enough, you have an indoor dining ban. You could dine outdoors, but we just had a riot through the city, which put a major hit on outdoor dining. Because, and we've seen the videos from Pittsburgh and other various cities where BLM races through, destroys all the tables outside. But nothing is done about that. So, you know what, Don Cuomo and your Lieutenant Bill de Blasio, you've created your own problems. I don't think... I live in New York, not New York City. I live in New York. But let me tell you, I don't think the federal government should bail out New York or New York City. It was $6 billion in debt before the Chinese virus. They created the stringent rules because of the Chinese virus. It's on them. You won't allow restaurants to open again. That's you. That's your fault. You're destroying your own city to win an election. Because at this point, it's quite frankly about the election. This has nothing to do with the Chinese virus. more than 350 New York City restaurants have joined a $2 billion class action lawsuit against Mayor de Blasio, Don Cuomo's lieutenant, and Andrew Cuomo, after the city's ban on indoor dining, arguing state and local officials have done irreparable harm with the Chinese virus shutdown measure. The state of New York has opened up indoor dining for everywhere except the Big Apple. But they're not telling you the complete story. A lot of cities can only have 25, 50% capacity, so it's not completely open throughout the state. The Big Apple, where only outdoor dining is allowed, of course, Black Lives Matter destroyed that a couple of days ago, remaining struggling New York. Notice that word is shoved in there because a lot of the restaurants are gone and never coming back. Struggling New York City restaurateurs to take legal action as the city's COVID-19 Chinese virus numbers hit new lows and colder weather approaches. So good luck, because when it's 50 degrees, you're not going to get anybody eating outside. And as the Black Lives Matter protesters race through and destroy your meal, that won't help either, because they're not doing anything about that either. The lawsuit was filed Thursday, and the next day, Cuomo said during a media call that he would not budge on the issue because there's an election for Democrats to win. That's more important. I mean, he just killed off 11,000, 12,000 seniors. But, opening restaurants, we can't do that. We can't have that. On top of that, COVID Chinese virus numbers hit new lows and colder weather approaches. Unbelievable. The lawsuit was filed Thursday, and the next day, Don Cuomo said during the meeting call that he would not budge on the issue until the NYPD, whose funding was stripped by $1 billion in previous weeks by his lieutenant, de Blasio, had in place a 4,000-strong task force of officers to enforce social distancing guidelines for the city, according to reason. So now we got rid of a bunch of cops, so they can't monitor your social distancing, making sure you're following the rules, just like that gentleman who was arrested on a ferry boat in Brooklyn. But if people are shooting each other up in the lobby of their apartment building, we got no problem with that. Making the issue worse, neighboring New Jersey has allowed indoor dining, leaving New York. Wait a minute. New Jersey is right there. I mean, right there. You just take a tunnel over to Jersey, right? And you can go dine indoors. So why won't they allow indoor dining in New York City? Again, it doesn't make sense. It's common sense. If you can go through the tunnel, go to Jersey, eat indoors, and come back through the tunnel and go to New York City, and you can't eat indoors, there's a reason for that. It's called an election. He's blaming Trump for everything in New York, and especially the city. He's blaming Trump for everything that's going on in the city. So, it's insanity. The only reason de Blasio is not opening up the city. He's coordinating with his mob boss, Don Cuomo, to make sure that the state of New York continues to be a cesspool. Oh, we've got more. That you thought that was it with New York State? We were just talking about the restaurants and how they can only dine outdoors in New York City. Well, here you go. From New York Post. Black Lives Matter protesters riot in Manhattan, causing $100,000 in damage. I guess this is the orange bastard's fault too, right?
We would be honored if you would join us.
The Victor Show, thank you for the follow. We don't kiss, just so you know, I don't kiss Donald Trump's ass. I will question him on things and say things like executive orders are bullshit. I didn't like them when Obama did it, and I don't like it when Trump does it.
Let the hate flow through you.
Welcome aboard. 8 people, only 8. Only 8 people arrested Friday night when a group of 150 Black Lives Matter protesters smashed windows and graffitied the storefronts of stores that still basically can't open in New York City, of lower Manhattan chain stores and banks, police sources said. At least 2 Starbucks. Wait a minute. But Starbucks is on their side. They donated millions of dollars to Black Lives Matter. I'm on their side. I'm on your side. Why are you smashing my storefront? 5 banks and a Dwayne Reed had their windows busted, causing an estimated $100,000 in damage. Don't worry, the insurance company will cover it. Police recovered 2 stun guns, smoke grenades, and burglary and graffiti tools. So they were obviously trying to smash windows to rob stores. The protest had been advertised on Twitter by a group calling themselves the New African Black Panther Party and the Revolutionary Abolitionist Movement. Oh. Let's see, 150 protesters. Let's not call them protesters. Let's call them what they are. 150 rioters. Out of 150 rioters, only 8 were arrested and then promptly let go because of New York State's no bail. That's right. New York State has no bail, so these rioters were promptly let go. One of the arrested protesters was from Portland. Thank you very much, Portland. Please send more of your rioters. And another was from Iowa. So you're traveling to Manhattan to destroy. Did they self-quarantine? I'm just, I think Don Cuomo would be more upset if they didn't quarantine for 2 weeks before the riot than he would be upset about the rioting. You didn't social distance. You didn't wear a mask at the riot. That's okay. Did you self-quarantine for 2 weeks before attending the riot? Now we have a problem. See, Dead Jedi, the problem with calling them terrorists, and I don't want them called a terrorist organization, because if you call them a terrorist organization, there are a ton of insurance companies that have a loophole that prevent them from paying out on terrorist attacks. So you don't want them labeled terrorist organizations. Otherwise, these small businesses And I don't. Bank of America window got smashed, so what? You know, they've got money. But a small business gets destroyed by the rioters. I'd rather have them called rioters because at least you get something from the insurance company. If you call them terrorists, a lot of insurance companies now have loopholes for terrorist attacks. Unbelievably. So you'd have to check your policy and update it and probably pay a fortune if you're going to cover acts of terrorism. And that's actually true because I saw some research done on that. And that could be why the Department of Justice has not labeled Antifa or BLM a terrorist organization yet because of the problem with the insurance companies not covering terrorist attacks on your personal property or your business property. So you got to be careful of that. That's why all the people on Twitter begging for Trump to label Antifa a terrorist organization may not be a good thing. One of the they came from Portland, and it's Antifa, obviously. But you know what? I continue this argument, and the Biden campaign is saying it's only a few agitators. If the peaceful protesters outnumber in large numbers the small group of agitators, why are they not stopping them? You don't stop them. In my view, you're complicit and you're part of the riot. End of story. If you've got 2,000 peaceful protesters and 10 rioters, 2,000 people, although they're mostly soy boys, 2,000 people should be able to handle 10 agitators. Or am I wrong? Or is it just common sense? If I was at a Tea Party protest, right? And we saw somebody smashing windows, believe me, those people would be taken care of immediately because we always had people watching out for agitators like that. So this theory, and that's all it is a theory, that the protesters are mostly peaceful is a whole lot of bunk. Okay, so the protest started at 6 p.m. The riot. Well, it probably started out as a protest, but it was the rioters gathering together. At Foley Square, protesters lit trash can fires. Well, it started out as a riot and scrawled graffiti, including the word abolition, as they made their way north. Every city, every town burned the precinct to the ground. The irony of these people. They want total anarchy, which will bring about total fascism from the government. These people are idiots. And once the government's done with them, they'll kick them to the curb. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you for giving us total control. Now you're going away. For good. Pretty funny. I'll take a look at that link you dropped, Ben K. Veritas, after the break. So, we got some fun stuff for the second half. It might not be that long, but here is one of the... Phone keeps ringing. Here is one of the rioters. This is amazing. because this girl lives in the upper. This girl lives in Upper Manhattan, a very exclusive area. Meet Margaret, age 25, Antifa member, set 5 police cars on fire. She is charged with 5 federal counts of arson. Now, I disagree with Always Right here. Her parents shouldn't be in jail with her. All right, she's 25 years old. This is like one of the dumbest tweets I've ever seen. Her parents should be in jail with her? I mean, seriously? You want to put this girl's parents in prison because their 25-year-old daughter set 5 police cars on fire? I'm sorry, always right, but you're not always right. I think you're wrong here. That'd be like saying arrest Jeffrey Dahmer's parents because he ate people. I mean, seriously? The 40-year-old Dahmer ate a bunch of people, and now his parents are under arrest. All right, fine. I agree, Victor von Schroom, with that. Okay. Say something. You can say whatever you want to the parents because there's freedom of speech, but you can't jail the parents for... I mean, my example right there, you know, you can't just go to Jeffrey... Now imagine Jeffrey Dahmer's parents. Should they be attacked and shamed because their son was a psychopath and they had no clue? I mean, the guy was in his, 30s or 40s. I mean, sometimes these people are nuts and nobody knows in the family. Sometimes these people are crazy and nobody knows in the family. So, but to put them in jail, I mean, it's just that's not always right. That's not right all the time. Now, I think, they should take everything she owns. If she has money in the bank, it should go right to the city to pay for those 5 burned out police cars. I have no problem with that. If she's convicted, and obviously they got her with a flamethrower in her hand, setting a police car on fire, she should have to not only go to jail, but have to make restitution for all the cars that were destroyed, right? No problem with that. There's other stuff, but I'm going to get into New York because on the Speakeasy show, Rusty Iceman 4433, follow Rusty Iceman 4433 in his show, Fighting for the Republic, on Sunday nights at 10:30. He is extremely optimistic about New York State and the president's chances of turning New York State red. Okay? Now, I disagree with him unless some conditions are met. Okay, here is a map of New York State, and I think this might have been the gubernatorial race a few years back, okay? This is the first time Cuomo ran, okay? Don Cuomo, now look at the map. Don Cuomo became governor of New York with the way this map looks, okay? Think about that. How is Trump supposed to win New York State? Now I know everybody's saying he threw a tweet or mentioned it that, oh, I think New York's in play. Number one, he just threw that out there, okay, just to see what sticks. I saw the latest poll of New York State, the presidential poll. Biden is up 33%. 33%. And it's mostly because, see this little blue area, Long Island and the 5 boroughs. That's why. That's where the entire, well, a large percentage of New York State's population is. Okay? Right down here. Now, this county up here, I got the pointer. I think that's where Albany is. So that makes sense, it's blue. This is probably Westchester or Allegheny or something like that. Out here is where Rochester and Buffalo are. Okay? If Trump were to even entertain the thought of flipping New York red, he's got to take this county, and another one to even think about overcoming the vote in downstate. Okay, so Don Cuomo became governor of New York with this map. Think about that. Think about that. Now, if Trump won Long Island, it would be close, right? Even if it was 52-48. That's still not enough to overcome the 5 boroughs. This area here. Plus, Albany almost always goes blue. Where the state capital is. Okay? So you look at a race we thought we were going to lose Don Cuomo. Here's a race where Don Cuomo, we thought he was going to lose. Okay? This is... Look at Cuomo versus Astorino, okay? Astorino won 46 counties in New York State and still lost. Look at this. Look at this map. Now, up in here, St. Lawrence County and Franklin County, there's hardly any population up there. That'd be like Upper Maine, okay? St. Lawrence County and Franklin County are tourist attractions. That's about it. People don't really live up there. I mean, the population is sparse. So that didn't sway the election. This down here is what kills you. Right here, New York City, Queens, the Bronx, Kings. Look at how many counties Astorino won or was leading in. And we still got Cuomo. It's like New York City. This whole group down here, from even Westchester and Rockland, all of that should be its own state at this point. I mean, you could make from the Bronx all the way to Suffolk County an entire state, because this right down here knocked out all of the state, and Don Cuomo is governor. That's why, you know, Rusty, I know it's I like the guy a lot, but I know it's great to be optimistic, but this is reality in New York State. Down here, these people are insane. They will vote for a rock before they vote for Donald Trump, okay? The only way Trump can take New York State is to get Erie County, and I think the other one is Monroe, where Rochester and Buffalo are. And now those went red for Astorino, so anything's possible. But Trump also needs to pull in, obviously looking at this map, because Astorino, I mean, this is pink, right? So they split. So even if Trump wins Erie County, he's got to win somewhere else as well. He's got to take just about the entire map and leave just the Bronx, New York City, Queens, and Kings. He's got to leave everything red except for those four to even think of having a shot of winning. What's the difference between a Rock and Biden? I don't think there's any difference at this point. So, I mean, I'm an election nerd, and looking at this map where Astorino still lost, it just boggles your mind. How anybody could win almost every single county in New York State except for this bottom area and a few loose counties here and there and still be governor. That's because of the Bronx to Kings. That population is hard to overcome. That's why New York State is becoming a cesspool, because New York City runs the entire state. And they've been running it into the ground for decades. And as the population out here in the center to the west decreases, in which it is, every year it's about 50,000 people leave the rest of New York State, not the city, the rest of New York State. So we're getting a smaller population out here. The best hope that we have is that a large number of equal or more leave from the Bronx to Kings, right? To offset the number of people who left Oneida, Herkimer, Montgomery. I mean, this area in the center especially is depressed. It's bad. So many people have left, like Oneida County, Utica, New York, used to be bigger than Syracuse, New York. It's actually not even a third of the size now. Here's what hurts the rest of the state as well. Oneida County has a state prison. Albany, in their infinite wisdom, decided that if you have a prisoner in Oneida County, Marcy Correctional Facility, where a famous football player was, who shot himself in the leg in New York City, Albany, in their infinite wisdom, decided that if you are sent to Marcy Correctional Facility in Oneida County, we will gladly ship your family to Oneida County at taxpayer expense so that they can visit their loved one in Marcy Correctional Facility. And if you ever go ahead and look it up, the Utica OD, it's called, Observer Dispatch. All of the crimes committed in Oneida County, especially Utica, New York, are people from the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, because they take their families and move them to Oneida County, Herkimer County, and anywhere else that they have a state prison. That could be why you see St. Lawrence and Franklin County, because I do believe they have state prisons as well, turning blue. Exactly, Dead Jedi. So let's look at the election map from 2016 in New York State. Now, I have no problem with Rusty 4433 Iceman being optimistic. It's okay to be optimistic, but Donald Trump lost New York State, and look at the map. Again, he even won Suffolk County and still lost. He won St. Lawrence and the other county that turned blue for Cuomo. He won these two counties up here and still lost. That's why I say Donald Trump has to win if he has any shot, and it's a very, very slim one. And I'm saying it's slim, even though Trump said, and I know this keeps getting brought up, but Trump said he's got a shot. Trump hasn't come to New York, has he? Where's he going? He's going to states where he has a legitimate opportunity to flip it red. Minnesota, right? Why would you waste campaign funds to come to this? If he comes to Oneida County here, well, it's already red, right? The only shot he has is to gain these two counties and another couple of bigger counties somewhere. Like, this is impossible down here, probably. That's Westchester. I think that's where Hillary Clinton lived. He's got to pick off out of this map. He's got to add at least, to overcome New York City, add at least 5 to 6 counties. Because remember, I told you, this is sparsely populated. This might be Onondaga County. No, that's Onondaga up here. This county is probably sparsely populated. Rochester and Buffalo are out here. He'd have to take these two and a few other counties, at least 3 other counties, in my opinion, and keep the map the way it is, with the exception of these 2 and 3 other counties to even have a shot. He can't lose these 3. Now, this is where Albany is, the square in the middle. The horse head on top he has a shot at. But again, that's outside of Albany. That's sparsely populated. Now, I'm going to do one thing before we take a 5-minute break. And I know there's not many people here, but we'll try it. I'm going to see if this works. And I'll check out Ben K. Veritas's. Don't forget about our t-shirt contest. Share out the show. Get us to 500. And I'm giving away 2 t-shirts. One small kid, one large kids JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday shirt, and we have our own shirts now in Teespring. So we'll give away one of our Winning TV or Speakeasy or Promises Kept shirts. All right, let's try
Do
it.
I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Thank you for the ice cream, Victor Von Schroom. There's your picture of a hot dog. Oh, they got a new polls thing on Tidy Labs. I was going to give it a shot. Oh, we can't do it. We got to do an overlay. All right. So anyway, let's see how many people are optimistic after what I just showed you map-wise. Okay? Can Trump, will New York State be red, vote 1, or will it remain blue, vote 2? Will New York State remain blue, vote 2? Will it turn red, vote 1? Anybody? Nobody. Oh, Victor Von Troop says blue. Dead Jedi 2. Yep, that's blue. Daryl 2. Irrational Times. Look at it. The great Irrational Times. Follow Irrational Times on YouTube and DLive. Always optimistic. Irrational Times votes 1. Oh, Irrational Times just said, oh, hell no. New York State will remain blue. So, I know it's great to be optimistic. Good point, Dead Jedi. People in Brooklyn cheering the man being arrested for not wearing a mask tells you everything you need to know about New York City. That's all right, Rational Times. Make sure you follow Rational Times. The trivia shows I missed them this week. I've been so busy and last week. But great trivia shows, great songs, lots of whimsy. So I think after seeing some of the information and the video, obviously, the consensus tonight is New York will remain blue. It's a tough road to haul for Trump to try to win New York State. Oh, Back to the Future trivia tonight on Irrational Times. Awesome. Got to get up to those gigahertz or gigawatts. He's actually, my electronics engineering teacher made an example out of that movie and said he's saying it wrong. It's gigawatts. It's not gigawatts. And a scientist of electronics would know that. Yeah, I mean, again, I'll put up the map again. I mean, you saw. Look at that map. Now look how many counties Trump won in New York State and still lost the state. I'm surprised he won Long Island. I mean, hell. I thought, well, he won, but he still lost by a landslide in New York State. Still lost by a landslide. And remember our example, Astorino, who everybody thought would beat Gigawatt, who everybody thought would beat Cuomo. Look at that map, and he still lost. He even won. Astorino was pretty popular. He even won Nassau County and still lost. That's the other problem. Between the Bronx, New York, Queens, and Kings County, I mean, the fraud is rampant, I'm sure. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just population-wise. And on top of that, here's another problem that I posed to Rusty on Saturday night is that New York State voted to allow illegal immigrants to have driver's licenses. Think about that. And in New York City, the Democrats were saying they can vote. Who's going to stop them? Who's going to check it? We don't have voter ID in New York State. And even if they do have voter ID, they have a driver's license in New York State. So in New York State, they're selected, not elected. That's for sure. Look at this map. Look at this map. There's no way in hell are Republicans ever going to win New York State again. Oh, it happens at the state level, too. Irrational. Here in the United States, the good old United States, you can win almost 90% of the state and still lose. Yes, I was right about that county. It's Rensselaer, and that's where Albany is. That's always blue, no matter what, which makes no sense because Albany's actually not a very big city. But they do have several colleges there, which could be why it's blue all the time. So Rensselaer County has a lot. That's actually Albany County has a lot of colleges. Well, in New York State, they definitely, the Democrats have said flat out, if you're an illegal with a driver's license, you can vote. We're not going to stop you. So, who's going to purge those votes? Certainly, Albany won't do it. Anywho, that's the bad news. So, what we'll do is take a 5-minute break. Come back with some funny stuff, some fun stuff, and then call it a night. I got some more. I haven't looked at them, so I don't know what they are, but public access TV stuff, and then we'll go through that. So enjoy these awesome commercials, most of them done by the great Irrational Times. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper. Idiot boogie bumper.
He's really giving that one a workout. Go on.
DLive.tv/JJ Stoner. And we love JJ here on the show.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection. The perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't riff! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was just gonna listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do this. Without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No.
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Oh, come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Feeling depressed? Need someone to tell you it's not okay? Do you like goth public access TV? Then join me for The Big Empty every Sunday at noon. Major_Tom on D-Live, with zeros for O's, because everything in your life is that difficult.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of passing. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of passing. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
This just in! The global officials that can help all, also known as Got You, have now banned all boogieing and boogie-related movements worldwide. Public safety is the main concern, they say, and people are reminded that boogieing is contagious. Anyone caught boogieing will be dealt with in the harshest terms police have reported. More at 11.
Sometimes this world can get you down. There's just one thing you can do. You gotta get back up and shake it all around. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how I'm gonna boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight. No one's gonna tell me how to boogie. Come on, everybody boogie bumper tonight.
Okay, we're back. Ben K. Veritas sent me one before we get into videos. This, I guess, is a little context is regarding the Rittenhouse incident in, I believe it was Portland.
Y'all look at this real quick.
An arrest in the deadly violence that broke out last night in Kenosha, Wisconsin, over the shooting of Jacob Blake.
Oh, excuse me, Kenosha.
This video captured part of the chaos. Shots ringing out. A man on the ground firing a long gun. Bystanders running in horror. It's unclear what happened before or after this video.
You mean to tell me you're not sure what happened before this video clip? You're a multi-million-dollar news network, staffed by journalists all around the globe. And you conveniently missed this shit? You mean to tell me you missed a Molotov cocktail being thrown at Kyle Rittenhouse as he retreated? You mean to tell me you didn't see him get punched? You mean to tell me you missed Kyle Rittenhouse being chased down the street by a violent mob? Kicked? Hit in the neck with a skateboard? A Glock pointed at his face? You mean to tell me, after all that shit you just saw, you don't know what took place before that led up to everything in that video? I don't know what's stupider. That or a woman outside reporting on a hurricane wearing a fucking mask. You're in a hurricane. It's not a corona cane. Clown fucking world. Yo,
that's pretty good. Yeah, I saw that. Number one, the guy was trying. Either he raped or is trying to rape the girl. He broke into her home, and Kamala goes there and kisses his ass. The guy, where's Me Too? Where's Alyssa Milano? The guy either raped or attempted to rape a woman, and Kamala goes and visits this piece of shit. Breaking news: Rochester Police Department leaders resign following protests of Daniel Prude's death that happened over 7 months ago. Because I'll tell you why. The Rochester police are not allowed to do anything about the protesters. It's getting out of control in Rochester, but they're told to stand down because the bad orange racist man in the White House, we can blame him. Insane. This is, and I didn't watch this, but this is some creepy public access shows. Enjoy.
Between 1969 and 1971, the FCC created public access television, a form of media where the general public can create their own television programming, which can be played on local TV. Before YouTube, if you wanted to make strange videos, this is where you go. And strange videos there were. Sometimes I like to call public access the deep web of television because of all the strange shit that's there. So I decided to gather some of them to show you guys. This is 10 bizarre and creepy public access shows. Sister Who present.
And you know what? They shot him, and he's not dead, right? The guy's not dead. And Kamala Harris went and visited this piece of trash. The guy's got a rap sheet a mile long, as mentioned in the chat. Violated a restraining order, has sexual assault charges against him. And where's Me Too? Alyssa, where are you? It's all bullshit. This guy's supposed to be a hero now.
Meet Sister Who, a spiritual nun who hosts her own show about helping people grow spiritually and personally, and develop a positive attitude toward discovery, diversity, and constructive change. That is, according to our website. In it, it describes his show as an ongoing series that discusses about issues that relate to spirituality in some way. Sister Who means really well, surely, but he's just so damn creepy. As all public access shows, production value isn't that great, and the intro is really strange. It drags out for quite a while, and there are signs that show random words for no reason. Or maybe a reason that I'm just not seeing. Really, it's all just religious talk, which is fine. But Sister Who himself steals the show, and all 386 episodes, apparently, the newest one being 5 months ago. This is something that I wouldn't want to see when I'm up late at night trying to find something new to watch.
The Great Satan at Large. If you're deeply religious, or if you feel like mentioning God in a negative manner is a bad omen, then I suggest you skip this and go to the next list item. The Great Satan at Large was a public access show that premiered in Tucson, Arizona on Channel 49 in the year 1993. It aired at 6 p.m. on Sunday night on a mostly Christian channel, and for 40 minutes or so, they showed scenes of explicit
there's a
violence,
swastika
sexuality,
on there.
at least in the back of, well, Satan's green screen.
Holy
and Satan
shit.
calling God many vulgarities. And on top of that, at the end of the show, there was a masturbating Hail Satan jester. I am not kidding you. As you can see, this did not hold well with many of the Christians of Tucson, and after the hour it premiered, the channel owner was charged with indecent obscenity, which was a charge that could have held him in jail for over 40 years. He ran for the feds up until 2006, where he contracted a deadly flesh-eating bacteria, which led to his death. Now, when you watch the original haunting footage, it adds this weird, uneasy, eerie feeling. The only thing I can say is that
Isn't that
watching
ironic?
the show
He died of a
is like sitting next
flesh-eating
to a
bacteria.
emotionally unstable person at a bar. It feels like someone's gonna fly off the handle and hurt someone at any minute. And judging by the content that you see, that's not a far stretch.
The Church of Shooting Yourself. The name alone grants it a spot on this list. The Church of Shooting Yourself. A+ for the opening. The entire show is just some guy going about on the streets of Manhattan and rambling about whatever he feels like. But when the show gets darker and quieter, that's when it really sets off an uneasy vibe. When he's staring into the camera, talking to you. I mean, doesn't this look like something that you shouldn't be seeing? Something being withheld from, I don't know, the government or something? The show actually captures some pretty graphic imagery, and unlike others on this list, there's not that many episodes, so there's not much to say. It's just so unusual that, out of all people, this guy wanted to share his...
This is why Trump can't win New York City. People like this are rampant in New York City.
thoughts and put it on public TV.
Animal Trash. Animal Trash is one of those shows that feels like it was from the early 2000s adult television era. And the newest link I found on the show was a Twitter account with only 3 posts on it. The final post of the trio had a link to a short video or some sort of update to the show. Animal Trash itself is rather odd. Have you ever felt weirded out by an early skit from Jim Henson's Puppets? Or have you ever been unnerved by the heavily atmospheric and darker tone of The Dark Crystal? Well, this is a group of puppets who in their first episode end up killing one of their friends.
I was talking about what happened to Waldo!
Oh, yeah, hey, wait a minute. Why wasn't I thinking of that?
And using practical effects along with cheap yet creepy puppet designs, they go through adult-themed adventures which can get rather gory and unusually sexual for a show that looks like this.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Cheeseburger. Cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, eat that cheeseburger. Oh, cheeseburger in my belly. What are you guys talking about? Remember us!
Little is known about the program, and no matter how hard we dug, it just leaves itself as a strange, yet entertaining public access show.
Joy Junction. I've said this before, but there's something about puppets that are just eternally creepy, especially if it's from something as low budget as public access. Anyways, Ron and Marty was a Christian show featuring a ventriloquist and his puppet talking about teachings by the Bible and the Word of the Lord. Ron himself would often drive children to the church and perform his puppet shows live for his congregation. What makes the show creepy is the puppet Marty. He looks terrifying and really disturbing.
Well, they said, Marty, come over here and take a look at our pictures. So I walked on over there and I took a look. And do you know what it was? What was it, Marty? Well, it was in Arizona, I'll tell you that right now.
What makes the show especially creepy is the ventriloquist Ron. I mean, he looks like a normal dude, right? While he worked hard with his church during the day, at night, his true side came out. You see, Ron would openly talk online about how he wanted to kidnap, rape, and cook the body parts of children.
Oh!
He would gruesomely go into detail about how he would commit his actions, targeting children as young as 2 years old. Ron was charged in 2013 for possessing child pornography and even conspiring to kidnap a child. It really makes you take a second look at Joy Junction differently.
Oh, that's creepy.
Goth Public Access. Goth Public Access truly is the definition of an internet ghost story. Little to no information is known about the show. In fact, very few clips of it even exist. The Know Your Meme page is blank and only contains the video you're seeing now. As for the show itself, according to Crack.com, there is some kid named Saul who is bullied by 5 kids. He begged his parents to switch schools, but they couldn't. Instead, they made a show on Public Access. In this clip, he begins to do some sort of card trick before the show cuts to him reading off a morbid poem. When he pauses, an older woman comments, "Is that it?" To which he responds, rather awkwardly, mind you, "No, there is a pause." It really adds to the cheap, on-the-go feeling the show has. And while watching it, don't be surprised if you get a few chills.
He was wondering why he was bullied.
Miss Mouth. In the 1980s and 90s, Miss Mouth was a show on public access television and was one of the most popular shows on there. The host of the show was a man's chin upside down with drawn-on facial features, eyes on the bottom of his chin, and a wig around his neck. Miss Mouth would often call people, give her opinion on things like toys and giving birth, and end her episodes with being fed strange substances by her assistants. The last video on her channel was 8 years ago.
Wild Record Collection. This show seems to have no real target audience, and to understand this, you have to boil it down to its basic essence. Wild Record Collection is about featuring album covers from various music genres. Vinyl records, by this time, have been dead for a long time. So, the fact that they decided to incorporate puppets makes it feel like a children's broadcast, despite the only people this might appeal to are collectors themselves. On top of that, one of the authors of the show was known as Anonymous Boy and made queercore films such as Green Pubes. The history behind Anonymous Boy is much more entertaining than this, but what makes the show weird and generally uncomfortable to watch is how the audio just randomly cuts out, and how it's clearly just one dude talking to himself, and the shoddy nature that it was produced under.
Stairway to Stardom. In New York, there was a show called Stairway to Stardom, which was the American's Idol of public access. It was described as, quote-unquote, an amateur talent show many see as a low-rent precursor to American Idol. It was extremely low budget, and there was no prize other than being on television. The host, Frank Nasi, would feature amateur singers, dancers, magicians, rappers, comedians, and such to show off their talents. Their talents have not been seen in decades and remain somewhat obscure until recently, when 16 full-length half-hour episodes have resurfaced onto YouTube by a superfan named Mitch Friedman. The show surprisingly lasted for 13 years and gained a cult following for attracting so many oddballs. And eventually, the cost of Stairway to Stardom was too much for Massey, and the show finally closed in 1992. Keep in mind that this was before the internet, before YouTube, before Patreon. So, good work on you, Frank.
Unwind with the sweeties. I don't want to seem prude here. The point is not to look at something and say, this is absurd and should be banned. However, this show is honest to God the most uncomfortable thing I had to sit through. The show seems to be about an older man with buck teeth in a green mask and a woman in a lemon-colored mask. Each of them are wearing eyeglasses. I've only seen one episode, and it was enough to make me physically squirm in my seat. The episode begins with the buck-toothed man looking at a sexually suggestive magazine. Then it fades to a woman in a yellow mask, much like the wife. She is moaning and talking about a strange story.
You know, I went to the stores today, but I didn't have any money. But nobody seemed to mind.
As she goes on, she spanks
This
herself,
is weird.
constantly shifting her position into other sexually suggestive poses, and moans. It's almost as though she has a severe case of ADHD along with nymphomania. Eventually, it cuts back to him getting scolded by another female in a yellow gimp mask, accusing him of being in a private moment.
Sweetie?
Yeah, sweetie, what? I was just,
You were having some type of a private moment. What was going on?
Sweetie, no, I'm sorry. I was just looking at this 3D, Jim Mansfield.
They probably do, and the glasses, Victor.
Is that all
The
you
Victor
were
show, they probably
Right,
use the
sweetie,
glasses.
I didn't,
The show leaves me greatly disturbed, and the only thing I could find on it was a few WordPress articles and a limited number of videos, which only leads me to believe they have not moved on to any better works.
Interesting. Public access. Oh, I had one more video. Where'd it go? Oh, I thought this was funny. It's a GIF, but it's funny. The guy blow drying Trump's hair. That was pretty clever. Must not have downloaded it. A couple more public access, and then I might call it a night. I haven't had dinner yet. Went right from work right up here to put on the show, and then so I'm starving. Here's another public access.
Welcome to 10 Forward. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pickering.
Great. Do you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah, I was just wondering, I'm having a Star Trek and a Star Wars party.
Yep.
We're all going to dress up as characters.
Right.
And my friend Chuck, he's going to dress up as a Romulan.
Right.
And I'm going to be Captain Picard.
Okay. Okay.
And do you want to come? Because you could be a Star Wars character.
Oh, no, I don't want to be a Star Wars character. No. No, maybe Sue would like to be a Star Wars. No, I don't want to be a Star Wars character. No.
We're not a very political bunch, are we?
We mustn't be.
No.
No. Politics, who needs it? Let's take another call. Good evening. Welcome to 10 Forward. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pickering.
Okay. Do you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah. First, I'd like to say hi to my friends Dave and Star Wars Party Pals.
All right.
And I was wondering, you know Jabba the Hutt?
I believe that we do. Yes.
The Jedi, yeah. I was told that it takes like 16 people to control him.
That's right. It's a huge puppet, and they have both human operators and they have computer operators.
animatronics.
Yep, and so they have someone moving the tail and someone moving the mouth and the eyes, and it's really quite an intricate thing, and quite something to shoot because we'll get a chance to see that sort of stuff in the new Star Wars. You know. Yeah.
I have one last thing to say.
Okay.
Can you like strip naked and dance around like a fucking?
Well, probably on a holodeck.
Not without the right pay, of course.
Of course, absolutely. That sounds like a Deep Space Nine sort of thing. Well, that's a whole other story on its own.
And into the wormhole with that.
Into the wormhole, yes.
Is it just me, or are there fewer active brain cells in the universe?
I think there
Yeah.
are. As a matter of fact, you know, I was going to say something about elections there. It's sort of all tied together. Good evening. Welcome to 10 Forward. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Pickering.
Okay, do you have a quick question for us?
No, I have a comment.
Okay.
I'd just like to say that the show's really great, and I've been watching it for a while. And
Thanks very much.
I don't really like the people calling in and make fun of you.
Well, thank you so much.
Well-
we don't like that either.
No, I can live with people making fun of me. Everyone has a right to an opinion. What I can't deal with is the small-minded morons who only can think of four-letter words.
Okay, thanks very much for your call. Okay. Boy, you know, those brain cells are just flying out of here like you can't believe.
Sucked into those black holes.
I don't know. Get a life. Get a job. Grow a spine, buddy.
Anything.
Okay. We're going to, and this person is a grand prize winner of
A pass for one to Primedia in October.
Congratulations, you've won your pass to Primedia.
Hello?
Hi, you've won a pass to Primedia in October. Yeah! All right.
A
how
happy
exciting.
winner.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, do you have a question or comment for us?
I do actually.
Okay, make it real fast.
Okay, I have a little poem. Okay, I'd like to say that Star Trek is great, but Sequest sucks.
Yeah.
Sue has been a great addition, and you're a
Well, as a matter of fact, you know what? You lost your Primedia thing. So there you go. You lose. You are a loser, bud. You are. You are a loser to the
They're
nth
sitting
degree,
on the
So now we still have two passes.
a homemade set of
You're
Star
right,
Trek
some weenoid
and calling
tried
that
to,
guy a loser.
Oh,
Too bad, eh?
profanity not required.
Oh yeah, you know, hello. Wake up and smell the Java, buddy. Okay, we're on, but that's okay.
Wake
I
up
think we'll
and
take this
smell
one.
the
Good
Java,
evening, welcome
buddy.
to 10 Forward. Where are you calling from?
Scarborough?
Okay, how would you like to win a Primedia pass?
Oh, I love it.
Well,
You've done so.
there you go. See how easy that is?
Terrific.
Okay, do you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think that the television sitcom Different Strokes will ever be revived in the near future?
They're all in jail. I don't see how that can happen. Yikes.
Really?
And the set fell apart.
Maybe a question. Do you have a question or comment for us?
Oh, I gotta go back. The set fell apart.
Jail. I don't see how that can happen. Yikes.
Really?
Oh no.
I think we'll take this one. Good evening, welcome to 10 Forward. Where are you calling from?
The set fell apart.
Okay, how would you like to win a Primedia pass?
Oh, I love it.
Well,
You've done so.
there you go. See how easy that is?
Terrific.
Okay, do you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Do you think that the television sitcom Different Strokes will ever be revived in the near future?
They're all in jail. I don't see how that can happen.
Really?
No comment. Or, well, maybe not. Maybe a question. Do you have a question or comment for us?
Yeah.
Okay, well, go away.
Not
Fire away, I meant. Well, we don't want to say go away. Okay, question or comment? Oh, no, I guess he didn't have a question or comment. Well, I could sense that one coming from 100 miles away.
You want us to read a book.
Go away. Boy, did I have it. Get a job, bud. Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming in. I'm going to release the chest. I'm going to get out of here and go get some dinner tonight. No Daily Boogie tomorrow night. Boogie has to work. Apparently. So I'll see you on Thursday. It's going to be open line Thursday on Discord. So if you want to jump in on the Discord and talk about whatever on the show, or if you want to throw links, we're just going to do no politics on Thursday. No politics. So just be whatever funny crap you want to send links for, as long as it won't get me banned on DLive. Get your links ready, and I'll have the Discord open. So we'll try to avoid any politics. It's good to take a break. Open mic, open line, open link Thursday. So anybody can release the lemons there. Anybody can call in or jump in or send links. Just no politics. That's all. Share the show out. You can win 2 free t-shirts when we reach 500 in the 500 t-shirt contest. Don't forget to share it out for a chance to win 2 t-shirts, a winning TV t-shirt and the JJ Stoner Midget Wednesday large kid shirt. Perfect for the ample female and the appreciative boyfriend or husband. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Tonight is Tuesday. Irrational Times. He's having Back to the Future trivia. So check out Irrational Times. It's a good time. It's fun. He does a good job with the trivia. No Daily Boogie tomorrow night, but Thursday night I'll be back. And so will Kimmy Weiss Censored. She'll be on Angst and Giggles, 10:30, 11-ish. And till God knows when. So she stays on all night. So check her out. Thank you for coming. We'll see you. Congratulations to the winners. We'll see you Thursday.
started to fade away. Now my heart says you're leaving. I hope to see you again someday. Why did it have to happen? Why did it end this way? each night. Doesn't matter if it's day. I can't stop the pain inside. This is a name.